Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and on today's video, we're going to break down some of the best Disney World money saving tips and tricks that we've picked up to help you save as much as possible on your next family vacation. And we all know there's been a ton of changes at Walt Disney World, and a lot of the stuff that we used to get for free is now being upcharged. So that's why we wanted to make sure to put together this video just to help you. I really hope that by the end of this video, those savings, those little tips and tricks do add up, and we can help save you as much as possible. I'm really excited for this video, so let's go get started. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, we are about to break down the best Disney World tips and tricks to help save you as much as possible on your next family vacation. And if this is the type of video that you are interested in, or if you do need some more Disney World planning videos, just be sure to go subscribe to our channel, as we do have a lot of other great videos just like this coming out in the coming weeks. Okay, so jumping over to number one of the best Disney World money saving tips. This might seem like a basic one, but we would say give some thought to the time of year that you are traveling. And just like it sounds, because Disney World will be less crowded during specific times of year, and what happens during those less crowded times of year is Disney World will be cheaper from a ticket standpoint, from a hotel standpoint. There's a lot of benefits of giving some thought to the time of year that you visit. And as a general rule of thumb, keep an eye out for the Disney World one-day ticket pricing. The cheapest it will be as of the time of this recording is going to be $109 per person per day. And like we said, that will give you an idea of when the parks are less crowded, and you will make sure you get the best deal. There's also some easy ways to try to figure out the least crowded and the cheapest time of year at Walt Disney World. You can use a crowd calendar. Over at the Park Prodigy, we do have an Orlando crowd calendar, and we do make sure to put the one-day Disney World ticket pricing on our crowd calendar because we know just how important it is. Okay, so that's number one. Moving over to number two, and kind of sticking with, now that you've picked the best time of year to visit Disney, moving over to number two, we would say give some thought to staying at a Disney World hotel, and specifically the value resorts. Now, a lot of families will be pleasantly surprised to learn just how affordable it can be to stay on Disney at a Disney World hotel. And there are a lot of great benefits to staying at a Disney World hotel, but specifically over at the value resorts, two of our favorites are going to be Pop Century and Art of Animation, specifically because they are connected to the Disney Skyliner, so we do feel like they are a little bit more convenient. And then also Art of Animation does have those Disney family suites, which can be a great option for those larger families. Now also the other cool thing is, if you're keeping an eye on the best time of year or just looking at some of the Disney hotels, just make sure Disney might be running some deals, especially during those slower times of year, so keep an eye on that. Just another quick way to just save a couple of bucks and get a value resort, an on-site Disney hotel for a little bit cheaper. All right, so now that you're staying on Disney World property, did you know that one of the other benefits, another great way to save money, is to take advantage of the free Disney transportation? Now, this is, again, another great tip because it can allow you to avoid having to rent a car possibly. And again, we just feel like you have to kind of keep this in mind as you're doing your comparisons and you're trying to figure out, is it cheaper to stay on property, off property, and you're running those numbers? Well, if you're staying off property, yeah, it might be cheaper, but then if you're adding, an extra $50 to $75 per car per day, then yeah, it could add up and it might be more expensive. But if you get the free Disney transportation, then yeah, it could be cheaper to stay on a Disney World hotel. And we would say, just even taking it a step further, keep in mind that also some of the good neighbor, the friendly neighbor Disney hotels will also provide that free transportation, which can help save you, and again, instead of spending money on a car or getting Ubers, all that good stuff. So we would say if you are even looking at some of the friendly neighbor hotels, make sure you ask them, give them a call, see if they have the free transportation. All right, so moving on to number four, and we would say think about how you can save some money on food. Now, of course, there are a lot of cool ways that you could save money on food. One of our favorites is to bring some snacks and food into the parks. Now, of course, guests will be pleasantly surprised to know that you can bring food into the parks. It has to be like non-microwavable, non-refrigerated food. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos of the guests when they opened up, that they started grilling at Disney Springs. You can't do that, right? But of course, quick service stuff like snacks and just small bite sandwiches, stuff like that, you can bring that stuff into the parks. Now, some of the other cool things that we like to do is you can order groceries to your Disney World hotel. Now, again, in the day and age we live in, the technology age that we live in, there's a lot of great apps. Our favorite is going to be Instacart, right? And you can go order groceries, get them delivered to your hotel. Not only will that save you money in the parks, but now you have to think you're saving money back at the hotel also. You could do, quick oatmeal and snacks and stuff like that in the morning for breakfast, and then it just saves you that much more money over at the parks. Now, some of the other cool tips and tricks that we've learned is if you don't have a big appetite, let's say that you see something on the kids' meal that you do want to order, adults can order off of the kids' meal. We think that's important to mention. Now, again, don't forget about all of the money-saving snacks that you can get throughout the parks. Now, the one that really comes to mind is the Disney popcorn bucket. And the cool thing about the Disney popcorn bucket is, yes, you will have to buy the bucket, but once you do, the refills are only $2 per refill. So again, you could see that $2 per refill, if everyone is cool with snacking on popcorn throughout the day, this could be a great way for a family to get those snacks in and for everyone to get a little bit, and you don't spend that much on the snacks. Okay, so moving on to number 5 of tips and tricks on ways to save money at Disney. And we would say make sure you buy your Disney World tickets in advance. Now, this is important because buying in advance, it doesn't matter who you buy in advance from, whether it's Disney, the Park Prodigy, anyone, right? You are going to save versus the gate price. I used to work for Disney. I actually sold tickets at the Magic Kingdom Park, and I'm just very familiar with the process, right? I know specifically for one-day tickets, a lot of guests will just go, they'll buy the ticket at the gate because it's a one-day ticket. They don't really see a discount online. With that being said, though, even on a one-day ticket, you're going to spend more money at the gate. It's always cheaper to buy your Disney World ticket online in advance. And I would say, and we've said this for Universal, but it really is the truth. More importantly is you're going to save time. You don't have to then go and figure out what ticket you need. You don't have to go and buy the ticket at the park. You bought it in advance, you did the right thing, and then you could very simply just go and enjoy your day, right? So just you could see that there's benefits to getting your tickets in advance. You have more time to think about what is the best fit ticket for you. You will save a couple bucks, and then more importantly, you will save some time. Okay, so moving on to number 6, best tips and tricks to save a couple of bucks on your next Disney World vacation. We would say don't sleep on having a non-park day. And what that will allow you to do is, you might feel obligated to just spend all this time in the parks, but when you spend time in the parks, you're spending money, right? Don't feel obligated to do that. If maybe, let's just say you want a relaxing day, or you're looking to just get some filler in, right? Spend the day back at your hotel, spend the day by the pool, enjoying some of those snacks that you ordered from Instacart, right? Back at the hotel. And we would just say that this is just, again, a great way to just get those filler days in on your vacation. Don't feel obligated. And then again, you will avoid spending the extra day on the extra Disney World ticket, the extra day spending money in the parks, right? Also, there are some really, really great ideas that you could take advantage of just outside of hanging by the pool, right? Do a resort hopping day where you go over to the monorail and maybe just hop around the deluxe resorts and just see how cool they are. Or you can hop on the Disney Skyliner, do the same thing. You can go over to the Disney Boardwalk and make a whole night out of that. There are some amazing restaurants on the Disney Boardwalk. And then, of course, Disney Springs. Disney Springs is free. You can go and walk around and, like we just said, make an entire day out of it just hanging out in Disney Springs. So again, we would say if you're new to planning a Disney World vacation and the theme parks is all you know, there is so much more than the theme parks, and there's a lot of really, really cool stuff that you could fill your days in at a really, really, doing it affordably. All right, so moving on to number 7, and with that being said, you also may want to stay a couple extra days. Maybe you're having so much fun inside the theme parks. Don't forget that if you do buy your Disney theme parks tickets in advance, and once you get down there, if you do want to upgrade or add days onto your ticket, make sure you go and stop by customer service and upgrade your ticket before you leave the park. One of the main reasons is you'll be able to take advantage of that kind of bundle and save discount that Disney gets. The way the Disney system works is the more days that you spend in the theme parks, the cheaper it is on a cost per day basis, right? So if you have a 3-day ticket, you always want to upgrade it to a 4-day ticket, as opposed to now your 3-day ticket expires and you go and you buy a new 1-day ticket, if that makes sense, as opposed to you going and then buying a individual 1-day ticket. So again, that's just one of the other quick tips and tricks, because at working for Disney, that was one of the things that I would see constantly. Guests would come up to me and they would say, hey, I need a 1-day ticket. And I'd be like, oh, what were you doing? When did you come to Orlando? They'd be like, oh, we were here all week. We've been in the parks all week. And we would just be able to then upgrade their ticket and save them money that way. Okay, so moving on to number 8, and again, a lot of these tips and tricks might seem like basic stuff, but I think the list is really for folks that might not be as familiar with the Disney World vacationing, or you're just trying to get a better feel and try to figure out what is the best way for me to budget my Disney World vacation. And we would say, understand and know if the park hopper ticket is the right fit for you. And again, what this is going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to avoid paying for something that you really don't need. And we love park hopping, right? But we would say it's not for everyone. If you have small kids and you have strollers and you're carrying the strollers around, and the kids definitely need the afternoon breaks, the park hopping ticket might not be the best fit for you. Not to mention, with the new park hopping system, you can't park hop until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So there's definitely a lot more that goes into this ticket. And we would just say, get familiar with it. Make sure that it is the right fit ticket for you. Or you might just be better off going with the base ticket and you could save that money and avoid getting the park hopper. All right, moving on to number 9. And we would say anything that you can bring from home that you think you would need on a Walt Disney World vacation, bring it. Some of the things that come to mind off the top of our head are reusable water bottles, ponchos, sunglasses, suntan lotion, backpacks, those snacks like we discussed, right? Essentially anything that you can grab on Amazon or at the dollar store, like anything that would be cheaper at home, bring it with you because that's going to help you save money when in the parks. If you're coming to Disney, if you're coming to Florida between May through October, it's going to rain. There's no doubt about it. It's at some point in your trip, it's going to rain, right? Bring ponchos, bring an umbrella, bring anything that you think you would need, and just be as prepared as possible because again, that will help you save as much money as possible. And then last but not least, at number 10, always be sure to ask if there are discounts or special offers going on. And to start over at Target, did you know that as a red card holder, you can actually save money on Disney gift card purchases? Because your card benefit is actually a 5% discount on all in-store and online purchases. So a $50 Disney gift card would cost you $47.50. Even a little bit savings like that does go a huge way. And then also, if you're a Disney Visa card holder, you could save up to 10% on select merchandise and dining locations while in the park. And then, of course, Disney is always running different specials throughout the year, and you have access to those specials by teaming up with Disney travel agents like the Park Prodigy. So what I would say is, if you're not as up to date or if you're not as familiar with the discounts, just give us a call. Give any of your local Disney travel agents a call and just ask them, hey, what's going on in the parks? I'm looking to go, this fall, trying to save a couple bucks. Here's my budget. Is there anything going on for a 5-night trip? And we'll be able to help you and help you figure out if there are any extra discounts or specials going on at this time. And again, just another great way to try to save as much money as possible. So that is the list, guys, from 1 down to 10. We're definitely going to start to dive in. I would say after going through the list, this is more so from a beginner standpoint. We're definitely going to continue to figure out, okay, what are the best tips and tricks to save as much money as possible, dive in and really, really get very, very specific about exactly where you can save money on your next Disney World trip. But I do think this is essentially where you need to start if you are in the process of planning a Disney World trip. And like I said, if this might be new to you and you're just getting familiar with the process, this is definitely the best place to start. I do hope that you did find this list helpful. I do hope that it did help save you money where possible. And if you are in the process of planning a Disney World vacation and you do need a little additional help, like I said, just be sure to go check out our website, theparkprodigy.com. We do have a bunch of free vacation planning tools. We have a bunch of discounted Disney World vacation packages, essentially everything you need to be as prepared as possible for your next Walt Disney World trip. I really appreciate you watching this video and supporting our YouTube channel. I think that's all the time we have for today. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.